So they're not paid.
All right, 6:30, I'll call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we have on the agenda tonight is privilege of the floor, a presentation by Good Energy. That would be you. So if you want to start, this is Mr. Carey.
Thank you, everyone. It's a hot evening, so I'll try to be short. Everyone's a little bit discomfort. Council, thank you for having me. There's lots of things I appreciate the time to present to you guys. I'm going to go over two programs that we're going on in the state offering. I'll give you a little background about myself, about the company, and who 9Net is. I worked in the energy business for about 30 years. My great-grandfather worked in the energy business. My grandfather, my dad still runs a refinery, and I went right into that field as well. A little history of myself is I worked for my family for several years, and then I worked for the city of New York, and worked under the Giuliani administration and the Bloomberg administration, doing purchasing for energy for the city. So it was gasoline, diesel, natural gas, electricity for the city of New York. And then from there, I went on to Amarada Hess Corporation for several years, and then joined into a company about 14 years ago called Good Energy. And Good Energy is we are a broker consultant group, and we're a national company. We're in Boston headquarters in New York City, Peoria, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, and California. And we cover large real estate, malls, big real estate holders like Jones Lang LaSalle, Titian Spire. We're in basically every deregulated market there is. Then several years back, we went, our first municipal customer was Edison, New Jersey. And we did a large aggregation for them. Then that brought us to the state level. And we probably cover over about 300 municipalities in the state of New Jersey. Atlantic City, Trenton, Woodbridge, Edison, a whole bunch of. Then from there we went west into the state of Illinois, and that's what we were doing the municipality. So we're doing wastewater treatment plants, jails, large aggregation loads, consolidating, going to a bulk purchase and going out into the market and getting a discount for their power. When we were in the state of Illinois, we got introduced to a new concept called CCA, Community Choice Aggregation. And this is a residential program, not a municipal program. And it's where the residents come together as one, and they go out and do a bulk purchase, and you get a discount power. From there, we first got introduced to CCA. The state of Illinois was doing about 15% of the state was doing this program. As of today, since we've been there, 97% of the state buys their electricity in this type of capacity. So you have Aurora, Springfield. That was brought by about over $200 billion in savings into the state. That put out a big beacon, that light out. And the state of New York became very interested. Said, we want to know what's going on. So at that time, the Public Service Commission was run by Audrey Zibelman, and she came and sought us out. And she said, we're interested. We want to take a look at this. Who's the biggest player? We raised her hand. And they said, okay, the state of New York wants to do this. So New York is the 7th state to have adopted this new type of energy program. And basically, it's a pilot program in Westchester County. In Westchester County, you have large cities there, White Plains, New Rochelle, they're all doing this. So we have about 130,000 households on contract right now in Westchester County. Right above them is Dutchess County. They're saying, we're New York State residents also, we want this program. So they really lobbied for us into Albany and say, and then just last year, the statewide order came out and said, everyone can do this. And so we've now applied to the Public Service Commission, got our implementation passed, and now we're going around to all different municipalities around the state trying to promote this type of program. People are probably promoting it the most, of which your members are. You have AOT, which is Association of Towns, which is about 950 municipal members, and then NICOM, which is the New York Conference of Mayors, just short of 500 members. They do everything from, do you guys participate in 9-year insurance?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the exact same concept. This is what it was sort of based off of. So all the townships come together, they do a bulk purchase for their insurance. Energy is a common good. We all use it. It's not nothing different from here to there. Right? So we're forming these type of contracts. So what we're up in St. Lawrence County today is, I've met with, I'm going to apologize if I mispronounce these names, Hopkinton, I met with the, Camden, I met with them this morning, and Camden is probably not most interested in doing this type of program. On the east part of the Adirondacks, like Plattsburgh is now moving forward with this, Chazy's moving forward with this, and basically what it is for a resident, a household, the average household is usually between 1,000 and 3,000 square feet of buying power. It's not much buying power. The loads on a household is not much either. We've all received these harassing phone calls from these ESCOs saying, oh, I can save you money and this type of stuff. And they send you a $50 gift card of some sort, you cash it, and then 3 months down the line, your energy rate's now doubled. And they're very difficult to get at because in that transaction, you signed a contract. The contract says you're responsible for 1 year or 2 years, whatever the terms may be you agreed upon, but you signed that contract, now you want to get at it, but you violated the contract, and there's a penalty associated. With this program, there is no contract. A contract does not exist. It's a municipally endorsed program where the residents can then go out to a large prison, but there is no contract whatsoever. I can't say, okay, now you're in this program, you decide to leave the program, that I can't penalize them because I don't have a contract. There's nothing to be enforced. That's the beauty of the tech program. When we go out and we aggregate, we would like to aggregate probably 5 or 10 townships together. Also, you then have a buying power that is probably double of like a Coca-Cola plant. I mean, the loads are, I'm assuming with your contract, I mean, how big is your contract that you're on? Do you know for an energy contract? Oh, you don't have one, okay. I mean, you're probably, your police force or this building, so the loads are not significant, but right now you don't have an energy budget. So if a polar vortex comes in, a heat wave, you're going to watch that. You're going to watch that spike. What we do is we bring in a fixed cost, lock that price in, it doesn't move. The exposures on these contracts are very short, like they're usually 24 months or however we want the terms may be on the municipal sector. But then going back to the residential part, we represent probably over 2 million customers. We've done this township-wise. We probably have close to 1,500 municipalities on contract. You're not a guinea pig for this. We've done this literally multiple, and every time we've renewed these contracts 3 times. And we're doing this in the state of Illinois, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Ohio, Rhode Island. We have a very, very large footprint on where we operate. Basically, to get this off the ground, with the councilwoman and the supervisor, and I also sent it electronically, a local law has to be passed. Again, this is not a contract. This is just so I can give you a proposal. The Public Service Commission requires me to go to the township. They have to pass the local law, then we have to submit that to the Secretary of State, Public Service Commission, and then we go to the utility. Then I get the load information from the utility. Again, I'm not looking at anyone's bank account, name, or any of that. Like, all I'm getting is the load profile, basically the thumbprint of what the town looks like energy-wise, and then we try to blend that in with the other townships. This works, as you're probably fully aware. This counts towards your shared services for the state, so that's a big benefit. You're probably doing it already with your neighbors around here. Energy right now is very cheap. I mean, as we all know, there's the primary feedstock that creates electricity is natural gas. We have an abundance of natural gas in this country right now, which is astronomical. That's driven down prices dramatically. So you are at a very good buying point to go out and buy purchase power. I don't know some of the demographics here. If there's a sustainability issue, you can blend that in as well. I know just doing a little research. I know wind has been a very hot topic here. to say the least. But you can blend that in with other, like, renewable sources. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, again, feel free to jump in and ask any question at the time.
What do you see as average savings?
Well, we don't know exactly. I mean, once we get the local law passed, I would, you know, we're not, again, we are an extremely brand conscious company. Again, I work for a company called Good Energy, and we report to AOT and NICOM, who created NIMET. So we have several townships out there that we brought them 5% savings, and we said, no, we don't feel comfortable with that. We don't want this to be in a risky situation, so we want to have something closer to 10%. In the state of Illinois, we hit 32%. You know, am I going to hit that here? Probably not. But, you know, I want to get something, we did Westchester County, we got 12.5% savings there. And they were very satisfied with that, and we moved forward with that. And then they did very well.
What is the savings on? Just the supply?
Just a supply, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're only going after supply. The utility, and if you know, deregulation, there's 3 components on your bill. You have the transportation, the distribution, and the supply. We're only talking about the supply portion, but that is 70 to 75% of your bill.
So,
75%?
no way.
70.
No, it's about 40%.
Each utility zone is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's about 40% here. In my 12-month average is 4.8 cents per kilowatt.
Okay.
So if you're talking 10% of that,
Yeah, we'll get down into the 3s or something like that.
so
Yeah. I mean, the goal is, again, is for you to aggregate with all your neighbors. And, you know, I mean, it's a Costco theory. You know, you're buying in bulk, you're going to get a discount.
the company's already buying in bulk, right? National Grid?
National Grid, I mean, they don't, you're on an index market. New York City is a deregulated market, so a utility cannot give you a fixed cost. That's why it changes every single month. You know, your peaks and valleys, but they can't offer you a fixed cost.
Right, but we're paying less than they are on Long Island.
Oh, Long Island.
Per kilowatt.
I mean, Long Island, that's for the population, so you have, you
Right.
have massive ancillary fees there, you have
Well, I
massive
don't
congestion
really-
charges there.
I
There's not
don't
much
really see
congestion.
much of a savings here.
What do you say?
I don't really see you savings very much here.
I mean, I'm doing this in Syracuse, like, I'm doing it in Buffalo, I'm doing it in Plattsburgh,
Right,
and
we're
we are
bigger
seeing
cities
savings.
too.
Yeah.
You're talking 300,000, 400,000 people.
Okay.
you know.
You know, we're trying to get an aggregation up to probably about 20,000, that's or maybe 10,000. That's what we want to work with. That's why we would like to bring you into the fold of Camden and the other surrounding communities. And again, if you don't want to do the program, I don't have a contract. You can enter this program or you can exit this program at any time, and I cannot penalize you whatsoever. If you want to, if you satisfy it, stay with National Grid. Do not come into the program. If you want to go and on your own and purchase your own power through an ESCO, you can do that as well. I don't have a contract.
I know better than that.
When you say resident, there are different categories in, you know, National Grid puts you in a different
In a
category.
rate class, yeah.
Yeah, rate
So
class.
they have to be in a certain rate class. I mean, like, this also works for your Main Street, so small businesses could benefit off of this.
And that was my question.
Yeah, small businesses could benefit this. If there's any manufacturer or large customers, like they're not allowed in the program. They don't qualify for the program. This is only for a small rate class type customers.
And how many would have to sign up for this?
Townships, I mean, we've done townships that are 500. We've done that in Massachusetts. We've done, 1,000. What we would like to work with is usually somewhere in the range of around 5,000 and above. We've had others to Aurora. It's 127,000 we've done. So it really, our goal is to build up as much as possible, so then we can bring it to the other energy companies and say, all right, this is what we have this is the load profile in the territory, can we undercut the utility? Regarding the other program, this type of program right here for the municipality, I can do that in a week, and I can get you 20 bids, very simple. This program, it takes about 5 months to get off the ground, and when we do it, the loads are so big. We're bringing in 50,000 households. The loads on it are probably 60 million kilowatts of power. The law states that when we do this type of transaction, we have to have double the amount of money in the bank to do it. So when we go out and purchase $50 to $60 million worth of power, we have to have $100 million in the bank to do that type of hedge. There's only about 4 or 5 companies that actually have that cash that can do that. So, with this type of transaction for the municipality, I can get you 20. The one that we're talking here, I would come in with about 5.
Do you have to have a minimum amount of households or a minimum amount of kilowatts?
Certain companies, yes. Certain companies, no. Callan, I don't have to. Calpine in San Diego, that will bid on this. Yeah, they do require, they have a threshold. If we bring in, 20 townships in St. Lawrence County, you'll have companies like EDF, the largest utility in the world, will bid on this.
So Hopkinton, for instance, you wouldn't have to have a minimum amount of residents. You're going to take, say I don't know, realistically, if you had 100 residents that wanted to do it, you're just banking on those 100 residents getting into the larger group.
Yeah, again, I want to be clear, the way the New York State law is written, this is an opt-out program, not an opt-in. So, how it works is basically again, hypothetically, I know you can raise your hand, so I apologize. I'll get to you. You're getting tired. Okay. But the municipality passes local law. We look at the data, see if there's, we then try to incorporate that with other municipalities, and then we go out to the different generation sources, try to get a deal, then we come back here, and again, the Public Service Commission looks on us like a hawk. So we have to come here, and there has to be a public hearing, that we have to go, the public has to comment on this, and then there's got to be 60 days of outreach to the general public. Every single resident will receive in the mail a hand card of some sort in their utility bill. They will receive it electronically if they do pay it online. We are going to advertise in your local print. We are going to add in the local cable. I don't know if there's billboards here or whatever. We can do that. We will be putting on on your municipal site. We will design it for you about the program. We've done sort of examples in other communities that we've done. We've had palm cards. We have we have interviews with different representatives.
But once that process is complete,
then we come back and then we have to negotiate a deal.
and then you don't have to have a minimum amount of residents or kilowatts at that point?
If we see the program working, yeah. I mean, it could be, if we see savings, again, like I'm here to give the proposal. So let's say we get a 10% savings. The supervisor said, we're game, let's go forward. And we incorporate the other municipalities around here to join in as well. And if other people, if they want to leave, they leave. But if we have if it's going to be 100 or if it's going to be 500, our thing is we just have to prove that there is a savings. That's my first goal. If there's no savings, we don't move forward.
Okay.
But again, going back to our biggest risk is the marketing of this. I mean, it takes a significant amount of marketing dollars to put this out. That is our risk. No money comes out of town hall. We pay for everything. So that's the other thing I want to really. The municipality at no point is at risk regarding this. So all you're doing is you're approving to move forward with this. If the residents like it, they like it. If they don't move forward. Sorry.
So then there's no penalty for the municipality?
No, the municipality is not. The law states that the municipality is not at risk at any time.
Does the company take any money from the state, any taxpayer dollars involved in this? Do you receive grants or any kind of?
Well, part of that's the other, that's a good question. NYSERDA is heavily trying to promote this as well. The utilities love this because it's easier for them to buy power. And the governor's office has a thing called REV, Reforming the Energy Vision, and this is part of that. So there's grant money, there's $250,000 in grant money. So if you do, I think 4 of the 10, you qualify for that grant money.
Who, when you say you, who do you mean?
The municipality.
So can you explain that?
If you go onto the REV webpage, and there's 10 initiatives. So I think putting out bike racks or so something that proposes sustainability.
So if you do 4 of those things, this would be
4
count
of 10.
as one
Yeah,
of them.
this counts as this is one of the 10.
Okay, I see.
And then you can qualify for a charging station or
So your company, Good Energy, do you receive? So you're receiving money from NYSERDA?
No, we don't receive any tax money.
Okay.
No, how we get paid, I mean, this is we get paid by the winning supply company. We're coming in here with 10 of the largest energy companies literally in the United States.
Okay.
And if they win this, they pay us.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
So are you going out and buying on the market energy, green energy?
We could. I mean, each.
No, are you as that company, or is another entity buying that and then?
It would Good Energy physically buying it? No. Like it would be a company like Calpine, it would be Constellation, it would be Direct, it would be Homefield, it would be.
Okay, they're in the market of buying the green.
We're acting as the broker consultant.
Okay.
Sir.
You mentioned about local law that we have to pass as a township. So since you're soliciting various townships in St. Lawrence County, that's really the big municipality pot you're looking for, will we all have to pass the same local law?
Yep.
And is that local law, is that like a standard thing that's out of Albany or something that we're going to receive a copy of? So to say, these are the guidelines of that local law?
Yeah, I have a copy of the local law I can give you. That's just a template. I mean, obviously, the municipal attorney will, he or she will tailor it however they want it read. We just give the template for them that we've used statewide.
Would the final copy of it, though, would be similar or the same among all the St. Lawrence County municipalities? Or could
Well, each township has their own charters, their own laws, and it's all pretty much going to read the same, but they're going to tailor it a little fine tune it, everything. And, every township has their own little laws, and I don't know if they use the same attorney, they might be different wording, but it'll probably read basically the same.
No, go ahead, Hal.
You mentioned Shazy. Are they in this program, or have they just heard a proposal? Because they're bigger than Hopkinton.
Chase has passed all of their paperwork. And I presented last Thursday with Plattsburgh and Supervisor Michael Cashman, and with all of his supervisors, they're moving forward.
Is it residential and the municipality?
They're on contract with the municipality, so I always try to get both as no, they're only doing the CCA program.
Okay.
They feel comfortable. They're already in contract. They said they signed about a year ago. They got about 2 more years left on their contract, so they're happy. I mean, so.
So let me get this straight. If we go forward with this, the first step is for the town to pass a local law,
Correct.
and then you'll come in and do.
I have to come back here, and I have to give there's supposed to be a public hearing, public comment. I then get the load data, and we try to blend that into a much larger pool, to see how we can, and then the process basically, you pass the local law, we get the load data, and then you nominate us as the administrator for the township, and then we try to go out and we try to negotiate a deal. That process takes a while.
Yeah. Now, when you say the load data, is that just from the municipality, or is that from all of the residents?
When you pass a local law, and again, I apologize, I'm confusing. There's 2 different programs here, so it's like, but the local law and everything, that is just for the residential portion. That's just for the CCA program. This program here, this, you don't need any of that. This is just for the municipality, or for this building. I don't know whatever infrastructure you have in the municipality. How many buildings do you have? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can, again, all I'm doing is giving a proposal. You're not signing a contract. So I can do the municipality and see if there's a savings. And if there's not, don't move forward. The other program I will do, and that'll take me several months.
Okay, so passing the law would only pertain to the residential program.
Correct.
Now, does that law give Good Energy the exclusive right, or is this law that you're talking about open for other brokers to come in?
No, well, there's only, to do a CCA program, you have to be approved by the Public Service Commission. There's only 3 of us in the state.
Okay. So that
no.
law would open it up for those 3 brokers?
You have Mega, they tried to do it. They've never done a deal. That's the other thing, my competition is, and the other one is Jewel, and both of those companies have never done a CCA deal, ever. I've done it 1,500 times, and we're the biggest.
You said that you have a local law that you can submit to the town board.
I have it right here, I need your copy.
Is that circumventing any planning committee that we might have in place?
The local law is like, I have to give that to the, I just can't look at your utility bill. It's, the utilities are strict with your information. They have to, we're in certain, we've been vetted by the Public Service Commission, and vetted by they know we are a responsible party. I think we have a $10 million, I could be wrong, I think it's like maybe a $3 or $10 million insurance policy for that.
Can the town board adjust or change that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Again, your municipal attorney has to look at that. I just can't submit it and sign it. No, it's got to be approved by your attorney.
So what you're saying is the purpose of that law is to allow you to have permission to get the load information?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
And that's the only purpose?
I can't look at the information.
And that's the only purpose of the law?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the gentleman was trying to figure out.
Okay, yeah. The law allows me to look at the load profile.
And that's the only purpose of the law?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just I can't move forward without it. So, and again, it's not a contract. It's just so I can produce a proposal.
So, if you're unable to buy at a lower rate, then this wouldn't kick in for that period of time.
We will not move forward.
So what if we're in it, say we're in it, and things are going really well in the honeymoon phase, and then you're unable to buy for a lower amount, again, say the next year, what happens during that period of time?
Well, again, we're gonna, as a company, we're a big company, and we talk to all the big players out there. I have a pretty good idea of where energy is for the next 3 years out, the 36 months. Anything sort of past that gets a little foggy. I mean, I've done deals that are 5 years. People, they want that. They love having a budget. They're they know it's on the bottom of the barrel. They haven't seen cheaper in the last 5 years. Lock me in for 5 years. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. I don't know what your purchasing laws are. Most governments can't do anything above 36 months, so you wouldn't, the exposure rate would probably be 24 months. And let's say, again, energy is so cheap right now. So I don't see it going much cheaper, but we strike a deal and we get it at, you were saying you're paying 4.7? Okay. Let's say I get hypothetically I get it at 3.8 or whatever. You feel comfortable with that? So we'll go out for, it could be, when I say 24 months, it could be 19 months. No, I'm going to try to find a sweet spot in there. It could be 15 months. We do a deal for 15 months, and all of a sudden, in 12 months, the price goes even cheaper. I mean, again, like, I don't have a contract, so you can leave at any time. You know, but I'm not gonna come here with a risky deal. You know, and like, let's say at the end of the terms, after 15 months, and now we're going into the 16th month, and I can't beat that renewal price, the contract, it just goes away. You automatically go back to the utility rate. My contract expires, and once it expires, you go on to the National Grid's floating rate, which you're probably paying right now.
The benefit of this program is only strictly residential. The municipal buildings, would they be
No,
able to do this?
certain companies might be able to do it. We've done it in the past. Again,
It wouldn't help the budget.
no, we could. I mean, like, again, it's like, these are, you know, they're small buildings, so it's like, I don't see why the utility wouldn't take it on. I mean, some of the energy companies wouldn't take it on. It would be sort of like, you know, again, like, the load here is probably, you know, under 300,000 kWh power. That in the scope of things, that's not much. And they would just throw it in there. They could do that, yeah. Again, these are, you know.
In there as in the CCA?
We could probably blend it in. You know, again, it's every company's sort of different. We have to ask.
But the town can have a separate program even if the residents don't go ahead
That's
with the CCA?
99% of the time, that's the way it's done, yes. The municipality has their own program. They're doing their own energy purchasing. And then the residents, we would do a bulk purchase on their own. But yeah, we've done programs like that in the past.
So if we were to go forward with this, and if we hold a public hearing, at that public hearing, would you have all the information at that time as to what their savings would be?
To pass the local law,
No. After we pass the local law,
then we become the administrator, and then I would wait for Camden to move forward also and try to blend you in with them. Then we'd come back. Again, that's why I say, you know, the process is a little bit slow. And again, I'm going to be coming back with several bids. It's not, you know, we'll go through the first bidding cycle and see what we come up with. Then it's our job is to go back to the generation companies and beat them overhead with a hammer and say, like, you know, you get it lower and lower. And, you know, we want to get you in that 10% range, something that we feel comfortable. If there was any type of market movement, we know there would still always be some form of savings of some sort. We don't want to put ourselves or you into a risky situation.
Are you from Clinton Park?
Am I from where?
Are you from Clinton Park?
I'm from New York City. I'm from Manhattan.
Manhattan. How is it, you said you were in Ogdensburg?
This morning.
Canton?
This morning.
Okay. Is this the third township you've been to in St. Lawrence County? Or you've been to others?
And I had a long conversation on Friday with the new administrator for Potsdam. I understand that that gentleman just passed away.
Yes.
And I spoke to the woman, and I sent her over. We had a long conversation.
So how do you select the townships? Especially as you mentioned the wind controversy.
Well, I was
On the
informed
heels-
about that.
Well, I figured
Yeah.
you were. On the heels of that, how do you select the townships that you're going to go to and do a presentation?
Well, I was invited.
You were invited?
So like, again, your township is our proud members of AOT and NICOM, and those are where this program is being offered out to you know, the close to 2,000 municipalities around the state of New York.
Are you familiar with Viridian?
I am very familiar, and I'd like to be recorded on this. I think they're a horrible company.
Well, the reason I ask is because a few years ago I went to a presentation, and it was for a nonprofit organization, and it was a man out of Canton whose business.
Viridian is a Ponzi scheme.
He suckered them in.
Yeah.
They signed a contract, and then the rates went right through the
Yep.
roof.
That's like I mean, we represent probably about 100 companies, you know, all across the country. And if you go onto the Public Service Commission website, Viridian's complaint list is from here down the block. I mean, it is they come to us all the time looking for deals, and we say exit door. We have a strict, very stern policy in our company. We do not deal with them. And I go to municipalities, I mean, I give presentations all around, and I find out that municipalities are on that type of contract. That is a like friends and family type of operation. That means someone in the municipality is getting paid on that contract.
You mean on Viridian?
Pretty correct.
Sure.
Yeah, we stay very, very, very clear from them.
The energy that your company sells and brokers, is any of that wind energy?
Well, I mean, with as you know, with the ISO, the New York the Independent System Operator, the law states that 15% of that energy, electrons coming out of that light bulb, you know, 15% of it that's supplying the state is coming from a renewable source. It's hydro, solar, wind, wherever it might come from. That's the other thing that we're sort of going into is everyone's very familiar with the 2030 date, which is, you know, we're shutting down. There's 2 new plants in the state of New York. You have Fitzpatrick, and then you have downstate, you have Indian Point. Indian Point is being decommissioned. You're losing 20% of generation, and then 50% of it's going to come from a renewable. That's 12 years away. You know, I have no idea how we're going to do that. We're going to write a big check to Canada to bring our power. I mean, New York State is a growing state. It's not a shrinking state. So I don't know how we're going to make that date, but.
Okay. Other questions?
I just wanted to ask the board, if, say, he brought back a proposal and it wasn't going to be profitable, I mean, it wasn't going to work out, I should say, for the residents, would you rescind the law to make sure that?
Can I answer?
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's like, I did probably 3 years ago, we were doing a CCA for, they call it a little bit different in the state of New Jersey, they call it Government Energy Aggregation, GEA, and in Gloucester, New Jersey. And the mayor there, his name was Dave Mayer, so it's Mayor was his last name. And we did it. He felt very comfortable. He said, like, well, let's go forward. And we had about a 6% savings. And he said, too risky. We don't like that. Well, let's not do it. And he said, why not? He said, like, it's just we don't like to be in that type of situation. So he passed a local law. He had it on the about 10 months later. The market tanked. We saw it coming. We called him up and we said, we have a 12% savings agreement. Within 2 days, he took the law off the shelf, put it right in, and we transacted. So all you're doing by passing the local law, you're enabling yourself just to have it on the books. If you ever want to do this, you can do it.
Okay, so having this law in effect, does it allow anyone to then ask permission for the load?
Well, they have to be,
So-
the Public Service Commission has to vet them out.
Okay, so
They have to have an
anyone that's
implementation.
vetted by the Public Service Commission can then ask National Grid for the load information without the town or anyone else knowing?
Like, you have to pass the local law, then you have to select an administrator to move forward with it. You just can't, like, yeah, the township has the power to say, you're allowed to look at this information.
Okay, so that broker would have to come to the town board first to get the permission in order to get the information?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Board, any questions?
I mean, I also have my business card here, like if anybody wants it. Like on our webpage, there's about 50 FAQ questions. Please, and we have a little cartoon on there that describes the whole program. It's a 2-minute cartoon. Look at it, very simple. But the FAQs are very, very informative. And if you have any questions, rumors, disbeliefs, or facts you want to talk to me about, contact me.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Other privilege of move on. Approval of the minutes from June 2018. Sue made the motion, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Approval of the financial report for June 2018. Motion to approve that. Sue made the motion, second. Second? Oh,
Thank you.
Gilbert, gotta speak up, Gilbert. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Audit of bills. Vicki added one and I have two. What was the number 180?
180 is special word.
And then we, what is it?
6844.
And then we have two bills from Dwayne's Construction. One is for the painting the windows on the upper level of the museum for $600, which we had agreed to. The other one is for the library bathroom upgrade for $2,850. And there's no way I can have that up. So, motion, vouchers number 73 to 86, highway account for 179,824.27. And vouchers number 11 for EHLS account for $425. Motion to approve the audit bills with the additions. Sue made motion, second.
I'll second.
Steve seconds, all in favor? Okay. I don't know about you guys, it is hot in favor. Review of budget report to date, nothing. Correspondence. I put grant for the salt shed down because I thought that we could do it through the Regional Economic Development Fund, but I've been reading it over and I don't think it qualifies. So I'm going to keep reading, but I think we're going to have to look elsewhere for that. And what do we estimate that to be? How much, Sue? Salt shed?
Cost-wise, I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know? Because I was thinking maybe 100,000. So it'd be more than that.
Well, depending on what you build.
But those are not mandated at this point, right? And research is starting to show that the salt sheds that they're using right now are not working properly. So maybe we ought to hold off on a little bit. And then, you're not going to hurt to look into grants.
Right, that's
But
right.
it is something to look at. If they're going to change it and we're going to invest all this money
Right.
and we have time, we should probably just take the
Yeah,
time.
fine, we ought to use it.
Okay, so that's why I put that on here. Local government conference, save the date. That is October 9th at Stanley State. So just be aware of that. Old business. The local law prohibiting the building of primary residences on seasonal use highways. I forwarded what Vicki and, I'm assuming Steve, came up with. I forwarded that to our attorney, who told me, looks good, send it to the St. Lawrence County Planning Board for their review. So I sent it to them, got a reply back that says, our office had a chance to look over this local law and have a couple thoughts. First, has your town attorney reviewed the law? Yes. We are not attorneys and would not want to give you legal advice. However, the law does seem that it could infringe on an individual's ability to use their land. There are a number of permanent homes that are on private seasonal roads around the county. Sometimes the individuals take it upon themselves to maintain the roads to a standard that can accommodate a fire truck, ambulance, etc. Sometimes homeowners will petition a town to take a road over. Another way to address this may be to inform individuals that want to live on seasonal roads the fact that emergency vehicles may not be able to reach them. He'd be interested in Roger's take on this proposal. Secondly, such a local law does not directly impact land within a certain zone like the wind law did. It does not need to be referred to the county planning board. Please let me know if you have any questions. So I forwarded this response to Roger, and I got back from him I tend to agree with Jason's opinion that this may not be a good idea from a policy perspective. However, my review concentrated upon whether or not the town board has the power to do this, and I think that it does have that authority. From a process perspective, I advise you to send this local law to the county because I was uncertain whether or not the county planning office would opine that we should have done so. Now that we have, and they have declined, I think that it comes down to whether or not it is the will of your board to adopt this local law or not to do so. I am totally confused. So, based on that, Steve, what's your opinion?
Well, I guess this originally comes from Neumer. And I do know it's a law that if somebody goes a mile back on a seasonal road, and this is how it all come to be, somebody went a mile back on a seasonal road, they built a sugar house, wanted the town to fix the road and plow it. They said no. The guy took them to court and won. Because if you issue a building permit for business, residents on a seasonal road, you've got to fix the road, you've got to plow the road, and you've got to maintain the road. And this law was drafted off of Ellen Rutland passed it.
Right.
So, I mean, if you don't pass a law and you give a building permit out, you're going to be building the road, you're going to be plowing the road.
Hey, board, what do you think?
Anyone else to tell them seasonal roads we got?
How many? We got 30 miles of dirt road, and I don't know how many of them are mileage-wise are actually seasonal.
They don't have that many, have we?
Well, you've got Fletcher Road, you got Hopkinton Road. Yeah, a little one up to the lake. Yeah, but that's in Stockholm.
Oh, that ended.
I don't know off the top of my head, but it don't matter if you only had one. If somebody does that, if you're stuck building a mile road, you can maintain.
Does, state that they could still do it with a tumbler.
Right. You didn't want to limit development if somebody, a blacktop road ends and the seasonal road starts, and 100 feet down the road, they want to build a $200,000 house, they should be able to do it. And as it is now, somebody got a camp somewhere and they turn it into a full-time residence, you're in the same boat. This restricts that.
Is there a law somewhere stating that? I mean, the piece that you were referring to, where did that come from?
This is a law that Neumer gives me. I'm not sure, but I do know it's law.
Yes,
If you issue a building permit to somebody, you gotta provide,
then you have to follow through.
you know, they gotta be able to get fire service, ambulance service, roads gotta be plowed, roads gotta be maintained.
But even if they build on a seasonal road, we still have to give them a building permit. Right?
If they want to camp or something.
Yeah, I mean, they still
But
need.
this is just saying that the board has to review a building permit for a full-time residence or a business on a seasonal road. You have to prove it. Or
But what you're saying is, we'd have to give them a building permit anyway. And what this is saying is we wouldn't give them a building permit.
Right.
Unless it comes in front of the board.
Only on permanent residents.
Right.
Permanent residence.
Yeah, don't count.
I don't know if we can you issue conditional building permits? If somebody wants to build, somebody does want to build a permanent residence, then they, we have something that they sign off on saying, we realize we will not have year-long snow plowing
hitting on it.
It's definitely written well, and I do like that the board can review.
Well, that was my whole goal, just get the board to review it, you know.
Yeah, if there's something coming up, the board can review it.
If something worthwhile gonna happen back there, it's gonna generate money, you know, and go for it. Somebody just put the sugar shack on, wants to make maple syrup, it's considered business. You don't have to build roads, maintain roads, follow roads.
Okay, let's have a motion to table until we can get more answers from code.
I'll make the motion to continue.
Kelly made a motion, second? Two seconds, all in favor?
Right.
Handicap ramp for the library. Steve, did you get any more quotes?
I have contacted contractors, and they're all so busy right now.
Mhm.
Nobody's really interested in something as small as painting that handicap ramp. So I guess my thought is, you know, Dwayne's done a lot of work, and he's done a lot of stuff that wasn't. He did a lot of stuff that's above and beyond what he was being paid for, especially in the basement. So I don't think the number is super high, maybe a little bit high, but you know, given all the work that he's given above and beyond other contracts, and then we can't get response from anybody else, do we move forward with it, or do we wait till fall when all the contractors start seeing dollars?
What was his quote?
1,100.
700?
And that's the other thing, it was 3 months ago, so if, even if we decide to move forward, I'd probably have to contact him and make sure he's still okay with that number. I know he's super busy, he had his guys working weekends just to paint the front porch of the museum too, so.
It's $1,100 just to paint the ramp, doesn't need any repairs.
It was pressure.
It was pressure wash.
Pressure wash.
Paint the ramp with 2 coats, and then replace broken rain gutter and install snow guard on the roof over the ramp.
All of that for $1,100.
Thoughts, discussion?
We don't have to have more than one, we don't.
It's under
Yeah.
with tribe.
Yeah, if there's no discussion, I would make a motion to let me reach out to Dwayne and see if that number is still good, and if it is, go ahead and let him do it.
Steve made a motion, second? 2 seconds, all in favor? So Steve, you'll contact him?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it needs to be done. We don't want to lose any more money to that. Next on the Board of Ethics, we had appointed 3, and Lauren Taylor is unfortunately moving out of Hopkinton, so she has declined. So we did receive, and I did go back to my emails, and it went to the junk file from Loretta Charleston. And I had forwarded that to everyone, so I thought we could just appoint her as the 3rd member of the ethics. And she did go into why and some background, so she followed the rules.
Rick was on that Aiken, wasn't it?
Yes, but he didn't he didn't follow what we had set up.
Is there old right on that too?
Not on the ethics, no. So Kelly, you making a motion to appoint Mrs. Charleston?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
What? Yeah. A second? I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Gilbert? No? 4 yes, 1 no. Last month, Vicki had brought up that we really should need to be looking at a cybersecurity policy. And she had spoke with Mr. Hall, and he had given us a quote on everything but the policy. That was just to do all the software that we would need to do that. But I put an email out to the supervisors, and I got back a copy of one from the town of Stockholm. And I don't think I forwarded it yet, no. So, and also there's a grant out that we can apply for to help us with getting the policy in place and getting the software and backup services that we need. So,
There are also, I didn't really have time to get all my notes together from conference that I went to, but there was talk about the cybersecurity, and the Association of Towns does have options. I'll try to forward that.
okay. So we'll table that until next month. In the meantime, I'm going to look at the, just to request an application. Actually, I would have to go through for this funding. All of this. Just to apply for funding for the grant. So I'll work on that. And we'll get stuff together for next month. A motion to table that one. Sue made a motion. Second. Kelly second. All in favor? I skipped right over the insurance report. Yeah. That was just to inform everyone that Steve has done what he needed to do at the highway. The basketball court down in Fort Jackson is gone. And the only thing left is the playground sign. And I sent it today, but you might not have seen it. I came up with some park rules based on stuff that Kelly had submitted, Steve, the sample from last month that Vicki had given us. It was later, so probably people didn't get a chance to see it.
I did get it, and I think exactly.
Yeah, you said you liked your one that you had submitted better.
I just like the wording.
I think I have a copy of that one. Or Steve's, but I don't have yours. So what I had put was playground rules. This equipment is designed to serve children 12 years and under. Use of playground is at your own risk. Adult supervision is recommended. No glass or alcoholic beverages. No running or games around swing set area. No hanging upside down on equipment. No jumping off from the swings. Playground is closed from dusk to dawn. In case of emergency, call 911. Follow the rules. Play carefully. Town of Hopkinton. So we can take out, put in.
Yeah, I myself just am like thinking, you know, the no running and things like that, it seems a little restrictive for me. So the one that I had found, and I just found it online, it says, use playground at own risk. Children under the age of 12 must be accompanied by an adult. Because really, I mean, there might be kids older than 12 at one time playing on the playground with other kids and things like that. No glass or alcoholic beverages, proper footwear required, improper use of equipment prohibited.
The one thing when I talked to them, that we wanted on that sign was probably no adults on the swing and stuff, but this all stemmed from getting swinging and wanting your grandfather to swing with him. He come over, set in the swing broke his leg, and Sue down.
But if we've got this equipment designed to serve children 12 years and under, doesn't that
Yeah.
cover it?
I
Or
think the best thing is,
improper use of equipment prohibited.
But how
why
do you
don't we just figure out what you want? fax it over to him if he thinks it's good. Good to go. And you know everything that he wants is on there. That sample one I give you, there was 3 things on there he wanted, he didn't mark it.
There was 3 on there that he wanted?
Yeah. And the one he wanted most, I don't think was on there, that swing set. That was just a sample law. But I figure out what you want, just email it over to him if he's happy with it.
What did he want about the swing sets?
Almost like a weight limit, there's no adults.
Can't really put a weight limit on it.
Well, I know.
So the question is, did you say improper use? I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess
but
I
what
think
do you-
common sense.
What would you classify as improper use?
Right.
That's why I put the no hanging upside down or running, and I put no running around the swing set because if a kid is swinging and somebody runs by them and a kid hits them and knocks them out, then
Well, this is all about the guy breaking his leg on the swing set. It's too heavy for.
I think that's covered by the design for children 12 years and under,
Yeah.
and then use of playground equipment at your own risk. Both rules
So
cover.
I mean, before you have a sign made, just email it over to him and look at it.
right, that's why I was. So do you want to delete any of this? Add?
I've already said.
I know you said you're
I've already said,
Sign
I
that.
prefer.
Right here, you got it. 12 years and under, playground is at your own risk. That's the most important.
So I'll put adult supervision is recommended for children under 12. Is that what you want to
No, I mean.
say? No? Okay.
You can already state
All right, let me send this through and see what he says, and we'll go from there. Shrubs for the municipal building. I had, I couldn't catch Gary, so I finally got Kevin Blanchard from Willow Tree, and he came out and looked at it, and his price was $5,147.92. And that is for, there was 4 different kind of screws, or some 4 dwarf screws, 4 Spirea, gold flame, I don't know my.
Can you guys do the version?
6 Bobo hydrangeas. But he did say that we could save some money if the town highway, I know, could remove all those stones and replace it with topsoil. And also if the highway could pick up the decorative stones over its quarry. And that would save us maybe $1,300. But we still have to pay for the stones. And we're still going to pay for the men's time, and it's a wear and tear on our vehicles. So,
Also fine deal too.
yeah, so I don't consider that a
Three
savings.
projects now, we got one over here, I haven't been able to get back to.
So I was looking at it again today, and I think what I want, maybe I'll call him tomorrow and say, we need to cut back on this, cut it in half and go from there.
Can you try the Almason?
I can't find a phone number for him. And
Yes,
somebody
I know.
told me he was out of business now.
No, he's not.
He's not? Okay.
Would you like any problem?
Yeah. And he also said that he wouldn't be able to get to this, and he wouldn't do it until like September, because right now it's too hot and nothing would live anyway, so. So we do have that one, so if you can get something from Al,
If you could just give me a copy of that.
I'll forward you the email.
Okay.
Maybe you could give the people.
Yep, let's try to track your again too. One more to table. A motion to table that.
I'll second.
Okay, Steve made the motion, Kelly seconds, all in favor? Okay. And we already did the playground sign under the insurance. The training, I did up a memo today for all the employees, had Steve review it, so, And the fire district has given us their information on their insurance site, so it's free. I have the directions here, so I'll send that out to everyone. You think if we give them to the end of September, that that's enough time to do the 2 courses? And your highwaymen are gonna have to do it. They're like half-hour videos, and then they bring on the completion.
Yeah, if you got it in the fall and winter, it'd be a lot easier to,
I can change it,
you know.
but I just don't want them to gig us because we haven't done the training.
Are we certain that those trainings are approved by our insurance? That's one thing that the association, or the comptroller's office said, just to make sure that they were, I imagine they would be.
They're approved
I
by
would,
that.
I would just,
Yeah.
right. I would check to make sure that they were approved.
When would be a good date for you guys to finish this?
December 31st.
And then they're gonna have,
Snowstorm.
and then they're gonna have to go turn it all over again on January 1st.
Well, you gotta do it every
You
year.
gotta do it every year.
But they're good for you.
Yeah. You want
On
December?
January 1st. Yeah, I don't care, you know, we get into fall and we're done with it over.
I'll go end of December. That way we can show that we're in the process of doing it.
And people can take it anytime.
Right.
Some of the people that can do it, you had somebody that was at the garage, and something like that, if they wanted to take theirs.
Well, that's what I mean, you get into fall,
Yeah.
you know, get a lot easier.
And if it's easier for you, you can set it up where all of them can take the class at the same time.
That'd be better.
So I can show you how to do that if you want to plan an hour one day with you guys.
Yeah,
Take it out.
I'll be up with you, that'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, if it's raining now or something, you could.
Which are the training that we have to have?
We have to have sexual harassment prevention and workplace harassment. Right? Those are the,
Sexual harassment and
Right to know, which is what it's about.
workplace violence.
workplace violence? That's in workplace harassment. Because it was only listed as workplace harassment. Have you taken these?
I have, at work, I turned my certificates into it.
It's right to know, right? That's what it says.
One or two.
Well, that's one of them.
I think mine are called workplace violence.
I think mine are due by the end of September, or something again.
All right, I'll check those again. We have time. Committee reports. Supervisor. I talked to Joe McGill, who is leaving us as code. Well, then he emailed me and told me that he would stay on, but he meant he would stay on until we found someone. So Vicki sent me the qualifications that's needed. I don't know, do we want to advertise for a code, or do we want to just contact other towns and see if their code is interested in taking us on? Which is kind of what we did with Joe.
I think we should advertise.
But setting that advertisement and being your town, do both.
Yeah. I'll work something up, Vicki, and get it to you. Based on what you gave me. There's going to be a Unity in the Community event on Sunday, July 29th, here in the park. Did you get the check for the town hall?
I was here today, so I don't know. I did not have it last time.
everyone. So it's going to be, I think, hamburger, hot dogs, drinks, lawn games. I think it starts at 10. That's a little early, but 10 till whenever. So that's for everyone, both here, Parrishville, St. Louis Falls, Lawrence, Syracuse. Doesn't matter. And I think that's all I have for supervisor. Code. 10 building permits issued, 19 total permits to date, 1 demolition permit, 2 permits down from last year at this time, no violations or complaints. Permits were a 40 by 60 pole barn on Commerce Road, an 8 by 32 front porch on Wilson Road, a 26 by 68 residence on County Road 49, a 6 by 24 foot porch on 22 Old Road. Old Road.
It's definitely going, yeah. They call for
Is that seasonal? An 18 by 18 porch, a rebuild on Young Road, 14 by 24 storage building on River Street, extension of a permit on Roman Track Road, demolition of a garage on Mill Street, roof repair, door and window replacement on Mill Street, a roof replacement and a pad for a wood furnace on County Road 49. He did inspections on Commerce Road, Wilson Road, Young Road, Young Road, Young Road. Code. Assessor. I think that's ever Town of Hopkinton Board of Assessment Review met on June 5th at 4 o'clock at the Town Municipal Building. The meeting was held to hear complaints from property owners that believe their assessments to be incorrect. We had 1 grievance application that was sent in to present to the board. There were 3 stipulated agreements that were corrected and approved, and 1 correction of errors that was also corrected. Submitted application was not reduced to what the owner wanted. 3 stipulated agreements were lowered to their agreed assessment, and the correction of errors application was also changed to the correct assessment. He followed up on some new construction to see if any of it was completed. The new assessments will go on next year's roll because it is at the taxable status date, which is March 1st, 2018. Any changes now will have to go on the 2018 final assessment roll. 2017 field roll book was completed and sent in to the real property office for all changes to be keyed onto the new 2018 tentative roll. No assessment changes can be entered on that roll, just address changes. The new final field book will be handed out around the end of June, 1st of July for all changes going further until March 2018. Library.
Okay. The reading program's up and running. We have 30 kids signed up. We've been enjoying our lovely new bathroom. And we have 3 new patron families signed up for library cards. And in June we had 103 patron visits, and for half of July we were already at 107. So the reading program is doing its job. That's it.
Museum.
Museum. The Hopkinton Historical Group is being very active lately. We have 2 pages here.
Michael needs a job for the summer.
Yeah. The museum formally opened for its first season first Saturday of June during its regular hours. We had 60 visitors, including some who stopped for refreshments after the cemetery tour. They have a limited Davy Award that they give each year. It's a $100 scholarship to 1 or more graduating seniors in the school district that serves the Hopkinton area. This year was Megan McConverse who received that. The Hopkinton Fort Jackson Cemetery on June 16th, Dale Burnett and Michael Draper led the 2nd annual Hopkinton Fort Jackson Cemetery Tour. entertaining and gathering of 20 or more with stories of the town's founders, veterans, and there was a wonderful article in the Watertown Daily Times. Additionally, recently commissioned and installed 6 plaques in the cemetery in order to further highlight, recognize, and honor those town founders. National Registry signs. To date, the Hopkinton Historical Group has raised $3,800 in local businesses, organizations, and individuals toward the cost of the production and installation of the signs to celebrate the 2014 edition of the Hopkinton Historic Green District, to include the Green Town Hall and Congressional Church on the National Register of Historic Places. Museum and library renovations. The renovations in the shared museum bathroom are almost complete, as are those in the museum office. Thank you to the town for the support on the exterior windows and sills. They have been painted. Additionally, the group is repairing and replacing 3 windows which have broken panes. Museum porch. The group has employed Lane Black to scrape, pressure wash, and repaint the 120-year-old porch on the front of the museum. Mr. Black also replaced and repaired significant rot present on the spindles and some of the boards of the structure. Now that has all been addressed, the entirety of the exterior of the 180-year-old building has now been repaired and sealed from elements to help ensure they can be appreciated and utilized for another 180 years. Memorial Walkway. 325 pavers that the group ordered from Willow Tree Landscaping were delivered a week ago, thanks to the exceptional efforts of Steve Green and the Highway Department, and thanks to a generous donation by one of our members for the additional materials. The memorial walkway should be completed in the near future. The group has already begun crafting an application for anyone interested in purchasing a brick paver to be engraved with the name of a family loved one. Visitors from Wanakina. On July 11th, the museum welcomed visitors from Wanakina Historical Society who heard about the recent renovations. They have recently been given an opportunity to obtain a local building in order to start a museum dedicated to Wanakina's history, and wanted to meet with members of the group to obtain advice. Fireman's Field Day. The group is working on a float for the upcoming field day and parade. The theme is highlighting the village green. Also on that day, the Historical Society will be having a genealogy open house. 3rd annual genealogy open house from noon to 3 in conjunction with the field day. Local experts will provide insight and advice as well as tips on organization and display. Additionally, researchers will personally comb through extensive records and resources housed in the museum. And a day in the park, a group would like to invite anyone and everyone to an event called Day in the Park on September 29th in order to highlight the recent museum renovation dedicated to the Memorial Walkway, National Registry signs, and recognize those who have made these projects possible. Day in the Park will also feature music, storytelling, refreshments, and a variety of other activities to help commemorate this historical event.
I do have a question, and Vicki, I'm hoping you can answer this because I don't remember. The gazebo. Did the town agree to take over the maintenance of that?
I know they went in together to purchase it.
I know that.
2 years ago, I remember that you had to wing.
Right, I
wash
was
it
gonna-
up and paint it.
And apparently that's when they think that we said we would do maintenance on it, but I don't remember.
Maybe that was done in the past, pressure washed it and stuff, and then they didn't want climbing up there anymore, people falling
Right.
off the ladders, but maybe we could do it that the next time, pressure washed and painted it.
Because it needs to be done again. But I don't know, are we responsible, is the museum?
I guess it's back in minutes. If there's anything in there, I don't know if maybe there's not anything in there.
Mhm.
Working on the agreement or something.
Okay, if you could check on that, that'd be gotta back up to my report. I forgot to parade on Saturday for the fire department. Is anyone gonna be available to ride in it this year? Gilbert, I'm gonna throw my candy at you now. Anyone else interested?
I'll be there.
Steve is out. Are you available to drive a town truck?
I'll see if I'm sure to wait for it. When is it?
Saturday.
Sure.
I know. Blame my son. I've been telling him, we need something. Kelly, are you available
To do what?
to ride in, well, we were gonna have the town pickup. But apparently, Steve, you're not available to drive us?
No. Broke my toolbox last night.
I didn't. That was Gordy. Had to have been Gordy.
And then there's 3 women.
Must have been used.
I'm looking at Vicky because. Vicky, are you available? Maybe.
Maybe. I can't.
Well, let me know by,
Well, if Steve gets transportation,
well,
then
yeah,
he
but
can let us know.
he would probably use a big truck, right, if you have one of the highway guys do it?
Well, you want a big and a little truck?
And I'll take whatever, I think they'll take whatever.
But you don't want to get back a big truck.
No, we were planning on it.
No, I want to ride in front like Chris Tracy's little girl
Well,
did.
if you only got one person, you can take a big truck.
Is the pickup going to be available?
Yeah, you can drive that.
Woo-hoo. Okay, guys, let me know by Wednesday so I can let Steve know. for giving me-
All right, if you drive the truck, I'll put you back in the
Sue?
Yeah,
I don't wanna
I'll
go just the two of
I'll
us.
see. And
Yeah, let me know by
because I'm
Wednesday.
at camp, so we might have to- What time is it for you? 10?
10?
Yeah.
10.
Line up at 30 for train station. Yep.
Okay. Moving on, highway.
The Bayes Mills Road is complete, blacktop and shoulders and all the road signs. Commerce Road, we put 6 new culvert pipes in, we got 3 left to do and cut the shoulders and that'll be ready for paving next year. Roadside mowing, everything's been mowed once, we started around the 2nd time. The old fuel tank down there has been cleaned and scrapped, and I set the paperwork for CDC. And did you mention the violations?
No, I didn't.
Okay. After we got that done, I got a notice in the mail of 4 more violations.
4 more?
1, 2, yeah, 4. One was accuracy information. That's because we unhooked that tank and didn't tell them it wasn't active anymore, so I did the paperwork, that was all straightened out. The fill ports on the fuel tanks down there had to be color coded.
That one done?
Yep, they're all done.
Oh, okay.
No surface coating, which means you have paintable tanks. We had to put new labels on them stating the tank number, the operating capacity. That was it. It's all taken care of. They took pictures and I sent that into them. So the good news is all in all this is they didn't say anything about the containment. So we only inspect every 3-4 years because you will find it. Yeah, downtown Lawrence for day, putting on their shoulders. Repaired washouts up in Lake Zone on the shoulders. Moved the old basketball court, Fort Jackson. Cut brush around road signs for visibility. Put new tires on truck, front of truck 4. Hauling crusher run for Sheehan, stockpile barn. Service standby generator. Service the tractor and put the blades on more.
Town facilities.
Just that this past weekend was busy and the end of June was not. I think there's a couple events coming up in
Rescue annual report. BHLS Health Center.
We had a meeting and Lance was supposed to fix that ramp July 4th and 5th. He didn't do it for some reason, so we asked Terry if he could straighten it out so it'd be safe, and he's supposed to be doing it. That's it.
Can you give a date when that would be done or no?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Groundskeeper. No report. New business. Opening of bids for renovation of town hall. That should go fast. We didn't get any. So, I don't know what I can put it back out and we can put a statement in there saying that work doesn't have to commence right away. Is that what we want to do? Steve? Okay.
Madam Chairman, may I put in a point that the chimney needs to be repointed because a lot of the grout has disappeared on the outer bricks and should be included in that bid. Because it's not in good shape. We don't want that starting to fall down. I don't know whether it was covered in the original description or not.
No. So, and I didn't include that in the grant, so that would have to be something separate. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. Okay, so we'll re-advertise and maybe give them a little longer to come up with.
Yeah.
Work does not have to come out and starting until.
Yes. We got notice that it's time for the court grant. I haven't met with the judge yet to see if there's anything in particular they want, but I did want to go ahead and do the resolution so we don't forget what we did last year, that it was too late to apply. So I did one out based on what we've done before. Be it resolved that at a regular board meeting held on July 16th, 2018, the town board of the town of Hopkinton agreed to apply for a justice court grant. Motion to apply for the grant was made by and seconded by. So motion.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
About the court grant? It's a grant that comes out every year. It's for the judges, and they can use it for equipment that they need. Anything but their computer, because they get that through different things. So in the past, the actual court grant has helped pay for the new building. So, but I haven't met with them to see if there's anything in particular that they want. I'd like to add 100 feet to the court, but I don't think we can do that. So a motion to accept the resolution to apply for the court grant. Steve and Gilbert, all in favor? Okay. Oops, I already said Community Day in the Park, July 29th. advertise bids for surplus equipment, which we did get. Open those. This is for the 2006 Ford 450 chassis. Letter opener with me. He's got seal plate. Clark Ferret bid 4,001. Mike Job, $501.50 for the Ford truck.
Open this file.
Wow. Okay, that's it for the truck. You want to award this now or do it at the end? Do you want to accept the bid of $4,001? Hey, Steve. A motion to accept the bid for the Ford truck for $4,001 and no cents.
I'll make. I'll second.
Kelly made the motion, Steve seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. For the sweeper. Mike Jock for the sweeper, $503. That's the only one for the sweeper. Good. A motion to accept the bid of $503 for the sweeper.
I'll make that.
Steve made a motion, second. Gilbert, all in favor? This one is for the sander. Rex Auto Body, bid for the sander, $600. It's the only one we have for the sander. Motion to accept the $600 bid from Rick's Auto Body.
I'll make that.
Steve made a motion, second. Sue seconds, all in favor? You too. This is the plow bid. Mike Jock, $376 for the plow. You must be good at auctions. A motion to accept the bid of $376 for the plow. Kelly made a motion, Sue seconds, all in favor? Okay. One more thing, New York State retirement resolution. Someone needs to introduce this resolution. Be it resolved that the town of Hopkinton, location code 30582, hereby establishes the following as standard workday for elected and appointed officials, and will report the following days' work to the New York State and local employers' retirement system based on the timekeeping system records, or the record of activities maintained and submitted by these officials to the clerk of this body. Town Board Member Kelly Colano, standard workday, 6 hours per day. Record of activities was submitted to the town clerk. A motion for this resolution? A motion? I'll make the motion. A second?
What is, I guess I don't understand, she's committing that she's working 6 hours a day with them.
No. Years ago, the town board had to come up with a standard workday, which is 6 hours.
Okay.
And then she had to do a record of activities and turn it in. And then we have a formula, we have to add them all up. And that determines how many days per month get reported on retirement from her actual hours she turned in. She had to keep track of 3 months.
Okay.
And you add them all up, and then there's a formula they give you that tells you how many days you have to report per month. for her.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, I made the motion. Steve seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? And Systems came and looked at the security system so they could hook it in my office. And they found out they didn't need as much as they thought, so now the price is down to $350.54. Yep, from the $769.96 that they had. So I just went ahead and signed it and said do it. Anything we forgot?
Well, are we going to discuss the good energy? Are we going to wait until next one?
I was going to, if everyone's in agreement, have Roger review it. Or no? I don't want to get into any.
The contract, he has to review that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into, well, even for the local law.
But I mean, we should probably decide whether or not we want to move forward.
I don't want to move forward until we know what, that number one, the reputable, and number two, that there's going to be some kind of savings.
Right, but the way that I understood it is we have to have the contract in place first, right? Before he can give us a vote. Did everybody understand that?
You have to have the resolution.
Yeah.
And we have to have a full public hearing.
Right, we'll come back and have the public hearing.
It's a local law. Go through the process, gotta write the law, have the attorney do it.
Yeah, he actually gave us a template for the law, and
The
that's what
template.
she's saying, we should go and have it through Roger.
Yeah.
So go through the process with the waiting period and with the public hearing.
Do you want me
I
to
would like to review it first.
have Roger review it, or do you want to review
I
it?
want to review it. Take us tonight to go forward.
Okay, so for the next month's agenda? All in agreement? So I won't do anything with Roger yet.
I haven't read it.
I,
All right, I guess I should wait.
yeah, I don't want to waste his time if we review it and say it's nothing really needs to be.
Are we all done with all the Hopkinton?
Yeah.
Okay. Because on this Wednesday, from 1 to 5, there's one drive at Harrisville Fireman's Hall. Hope some of you can make it.
Motion to adjourn.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a point.
That was during privilege of the floor.
Oh, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Kelly made a motion, second.